Hello again. Now let's look into our interrupt priority example. For this example, we are going to discuss about the priority of an interrupt. This example uses 3 LED to simulate 3 types of function. The main function, represented by LED 2, is the main program that is to toggle the LED with a rate of 50 milliseconds per interval. The second interrupt, the second function, we use external interrupt 1 is used to toggle the LED at LED 1 D2 to display a string of external interrupt 1. And the third function is used as an interrupt, is used and connect to the external interrupt 0, and when triggered it will display a string of external interrupt 0 on our virtual terminal. So before we enter the main program, let's go back to our interrupt table. This is our interrupt priority register. It is used to tell our microcontroller to set the interrupt priority of our interrupt. When you are using more than one interrupt, it is advisable to set the interrupt priority of those interrupts, especially when you are using 2 or 3 interrupts at the same time. Let's say you are using 2 external interrupts in a form of push button. When one push button is pressed and the other one is not pressed, it is okay for the microcontroller to run that interrupt. But imagine if you are pressing both of the push button of interrupt external 1 and external 0 at the same time. The microcontroller will be confused to figure out which interrupt should they run first if you do not configure the interrupt priority register. So let's look into our example again. This program, this example, will show that we have enabled 2 types of interrupt: external interrupt 0 and external interrupt 1. While running a main program that is to toggle the LED at LED 2. Let's do the program. In this program, let me reset it first. In this example, you can see that I've done 2 interrupt push button connected to external interrupt 1 and external interrupt 0 and 3 LED. LED D3 is the LED that is running the main program, while D2 is connected, will toggle when external interrupt 1 is pressed, and D1 will trigger when external interrupt 0 is pressed. So let's run the simulation and see what happened. First of all, I need to close this one first. Open that, and here Now, I'm going to look the code. So let's run the program. You see, D3 is always going to blink at an interval of 500 milliseconds. When external interrupt 0 is pressed, it shows external interrupt 0. And the LED is toggled to high. When it is pressed again, external interrupt 0, and the LED is toggled to low. External interrupt 1, when it's pressed, it shows external interrupt 1. It shows external interrupt 1. It shows external interrupt 1. And when it is pressed again, it shows external interrupt 0. External interrupt 1 is toggled to off, while LED at D3 continuously blinking. So this shows that whatever the main program is, it will continue the main program while after doing the external interrupt 0 and external interrupt 1. Now, let's alter the program to show the function of priority. In this program, we have set the priorities that so that external interrupt 1 is set as high. Higher. Higher priority and lower priority. So here we set external interrupt 0 as lower priority, external interrupt 1 as higher priority. So let's run our program. Now, after the minor alteration, okay, let me compile it first. Now, let's stop. Download the new codes. Okay. So, watch closely the virtual terminal. Whenever an interrupt 0 occurs, it will count from 0 to 50. Look at our LED at D3. It is non-blinking. This shows that whenever an interrupt is running, the main program will stop for a brief moment until the end of execution of the external interrupt. In this example, while external interrupt 0 is running, our main program is stopped until our external interrupt program finishes its execution. An interrupt has a higher level of priority compared to a normal program or any of our main program. So here the example shows that it will run the interrupt counting up from 0 to 50, and the main program will stall, wait for the interrupt to finish, and then continue back blinking. Because we have said that our external interrupt 1 have a higher priority than our external interrupt 0, so this means that while executing external interrupt 0, if external interrupt 1 is triggered, the program will also stop our external interrupt 0 and continue to do our external interrupt 1 until finish. Then it will continue back external interrupt 0 until finish. Then it will go back to our main program. Let's test that. So now our main program is running. I'm going to trigger our external interrupt 0. So on halfway, I will trigger our external interrupt 1. If you look at the trigger, now it's completing external interrupt 1. When 1 is finished, you will see that it will continue back to our main program. Let's trigger our external interrupt 1. When 1 is triggered, because 1 have a higher priority than 0, it will wait until 1 is finished, then continue to 0. 50, and then you see it will continue to external interrupt 0. It will wait until external interrupt 1 is finished, then when it will go to external interrupt 0. Okay. So, and then after it's finished, then the LED at our main program will continue to blink as normal. Let's test it again. Hello. Let's continue again. Let's look at the external interrupt. If I triggered the external interrupt 0, because it is low priority, it should be whenever external interrupt 0 is in running mode. When external interrupt 1 is triggered, it will bypass external interrupt 0, and external interrupt 1 will continue until finish, then it will resume back to our main program. Let's look at this example. External interrupt 0 is running. Then I will pitch in external interrupt 1. You see it stopped midway and continue to external interrupt 1. Okay, and then the program finishes up with going back to the main program. But if I continue with external interrupt 1 and I press external interrupt 0, there's no effect to the function of the program, because due to the fact that external interrupt 0 is low priority, when 1 is finished, then it will continue on to external interrupt 0, and then after it finished, then our main program will continue blinking at D3. You see? So this is an example of setting the priority of our external interrupt. I hope that you're able to test the code yourself. I will put all the material and the circuit in our VLE. You can test the circuit and connection yourself, and if you find anything that you don't understand, you can ask me later, either on WhatsApp or by contacting me continually. Thank you.